Hello students, my name is Dimple Bhasin. I am an assistant professor in CSA department at Chandigarh Polytechnic College. In this lecture, I'll be giving an introduction about a very important and advanced technology in the fields of computer science, that is Internet of Things. In this lecture, I'll be giving an introduction to the basic concepts and definition associated with the same, also the challenges that are being faced in this field, the different elements and components of IoT model, along with the future trends associated with IoT. I'll be explaining all these with the help of a slideshow and important concepts I'll be explaining side by side. So let's start with the first slide, that is an introduction to IoT, that is Internet of Things. The very first point in the slide is simply definition that I've taken from the Google when I type what is Internet of Things, and it states that it is an arrangement of interrelated processing gadgets, mechanical and advanced machines, item creatures or individuals that are furnished with exceptional identifiers and the capacity to move information over a system without expecting human to human or human to PC communication. And I think this is not a definition that I can actually explain very easily to a diploma student or any student who is actually starting with IoT. So how I am going to start is with the layman language, what is Internet of Things? Internet of Things is nothing, just a typical platform to connect all the devices that are connected to internet. Anything that is connected to internet comes under IoT, right? That is what is actually IoT is. This is a very well defined definition from the exam point of view. And when we come across or when we learn the typical concepts of IoT, this is the exact definition of what is Internet of Things, the one mentioned in the first point. But very to be stated very nicely or to be very easily, what is IoT? IoT is nothing more than just a platform that provides billions or zillions or millions or maybe a two or three electronic devices to be connected across internet to share data and information. So IoT has a very important term in its abbreviation, that is internet. And internet is nothing but only the basic of everything that is revolving right now in technology. Without internet, there is no technology. Without internet, there is no advancement. And to be very precise, without internet, nothing can exist for now, right now. If internet is shut down for one day, just one day, or I could say 1 hour even, the world will come to an halt. That is how much important is internet. And this IoT has a base, or you could say this IoT is actually standing on this important thing that is called internet. And now the other term that is used in this abbreviation is things. What is things? Things is basically the one that will sense and collect data. It could be your electronic devices, it could be your mobile phones, it could be your PCs, it could be your laptops. And these things that is mentioned in double quotes is the one that is actually going to collect data or will be accessing data across internet. So moving further, this diagram or this picture actually tells what is internet. Now, what is IoT. Now, before explaining what is IoT, I need the students to be acquainted with these three terms: data, information, knowledge. And no matter whichever subject you study of CSE, these three terms are based for any subject, even for the programming languages. Data is nothing but the raw facts. Information is processed data, and knowledge is the one that is retained by the system or by the humans. Knowledge is the one that we will retain and use it to obtain certain important aspects. Suppose I have a knowledge right now of IoT and I'm teaching all the students. I am giving this lecture. That is my knowledge that I've retained or I have gained, right? And IoT is actually governing on these three aspects. Now, before actually getting into the typical topics of the subjects, I would actually say you that what is basically IoT? IoT is actually influencing our lives so much from the way it is actually depending upon the way we are reacting or the way we behave, we the human beings behave. From the air conditioners that you can control with your smartphones to the smart cars providing the shortest route, or your smart watches, which is tracking your daily activities, IoT is a giant network that connect these devices. It may be the GPS or the air condition or the smartwatch, it is connecting all of these devices together. And how these devices are connected and how they are accessing this platform, we'll discuss it further. Now, these are the characteristics of IoT, right? Number one is intelligence. In the definition itself, it is laid down that the things sense, right? Right now also I explained that what is IoT doing? It is actually connecting all the devices. And how this IoT is actually working is, suppose in I have a watch that is tracking all my activities, that is tracking my calories, that is tracking how many miles I've walked. It has sensor in this. How these sensors work? These sensors get activated as soon as I'm doing some voluntary action. Now they what they do is they provide these data across the internet where it is actually gathered and then analytically processed, and then it is actually spread it across internet. This is how this system work. Intelligence means that any gadgets these days coming is actually having sensors, and these sensors are the intelligent utilities, or you could say the intelligence mind behind those gadgets. How can a phone just open with our eyes or just with the touch of our fingers? These are all sensors, and that is the base for IoT platform, intelligence sensors that are being used in it. Then is connectivity. All the electronic devices or all the devices, it may be any, right? I said electronic devices, mobile phones, laptop, anything that is connected across internet and it is sharing data. So connectivity is the major characteristics of IoT along with intelligence. Then dynamic nature. The devices connected across internet are not static in nature. They do not they change with time, they change with the conditions, they change with everything that is happening around them. So they are dynamic. Dynamic means they are always dependent upon the current value as well as the past value, maybe the current data as well as the past data. Then vast scale. IoT platform not only connects PCs limited to hundreds or thousands, it can connect billions of computers or billions of devices across internet. Then sensing. Sensing is again related to the characteristic of intelligence. That means the devices have a capability to sense something and then gather that data and send it across internet. And it is a very, very important feature when we talk about the IoT platform. Then comes the heterogeneity. Again, it does not only connect PCs or it does not connect only laptops. It connects any device that can access the internet. Then security, obviously any device these days, it may be any device. Even this telephones have come are these days having parental controls or different types of security controls. So security has become a very important and essential aspect of any technology that is coming. So and for the IoT thing, it is more important because we are getting connected over a large network, over a large internet. And when we are connecting to that internet, that means there might be security vulnerability. So this security factor is an important characteristics of IoT. Now, the components of IoT. In the previous slide, in this first slide, see, I said about this is a general diagram for IoT. Now, I even told that what are the IoT devices, the air conditioners, the smartphones, or the gadgets. These are all IoT devices and how they have sensors in them. What these sensors basically do, let's discuss with this diagram of major components of IoT. In this, what they are showing is things and devices, then there is a cloud, then there is a user interface, gateway, analytics. Now I'll explain with a very simple example. Suppose the things or devices, that is your smartwatches. Now, IoT devices have a capability of having sensors and intelligence. So, at the left end are your things or devices. That could be a smartwatch. What it is going to do is it is going to sense your activities, whatever you are doing. It may calculate your calories, it may calculate the miles you have walked. Now, what it will do through the gateway channels, gateway includes all your securities, your firewall authentication, everything comes under gates, right? Gateways. Through the wireless networks, it will send it to gateway, and via gateway, it will go across the internet where different analytics will be applied to it and the information will be processed, further will be which will be further scattered on the internet so that other users can also know. That is how IoT devices are connected to each other. Now, the smartwatches, I'll also give an example. Suppose there's an air conditioner system in your home. It has different sensors. We may or may not know, but the company which has produced it, that company knows what type of sensors are there. What they do is, like after 2 or 3 months, periodically, they themselves calls us to ask us if our system is working properly or not. How that happens is the air condition itself has sensors. Now, these sensors detect all the activities, or you could say all the parameters, which are actually sent to the cloud, that is to the internet, where it is processed and analyzed and further sent to the company's server, or you could say where it is disseminated to the server, where they come to know that at a particular sensor how is it working. This is how these sensors are allowing people to connect across internet. Another example is that suppose you have done online shopping on Amazon. Now these days there is a barcode on everything. Even if you are ordering something online, that same barcode is on the product that is being sent to you. What is that product? That barcode is actually responsible for tracking the packet that is being sent by the company to you. It is that barcode that will actually tell you where that packet is. That is why it goes through different modules: shipping, delivery, dispatch. All this is done that through that barcode, and that barcode itself is a sensor. This is how IoT works. Then, why is IoT required? IoT is basically giving all the users a platform to connect to each other. Suppose I want to establish a office. Right now, I'm currently having an office established at Chandigarh, and I want to expand my business, and I want to expand it to some different cities. So, for example, Bangalore. Right? How am I going to do? I don't have the cost to be incurred. What will I do? I'll do one thing, that instead of setting up a business, I can hire people who can work from their home. All they require is actually some devices that can connect to internet. This is how IoT has brought us all together. Rather than having an established typical biz office at a different city, what I can do is simply hire people who have devices, who have proper type of devices, and then they can connect to internet and I can connect to internet, and this is how dynamically we will be sharing data. So dynamic control of industry and daily life. IoT has become a part of us. Anything that is coming right now in technology, in daily household activities, everything is coming with sensors, and these sensors are responsible for sharing data across the internet. Then improve the resource utilization ratio. The resources are being used properly rather than getting wasted. Then integrating human society and physical system. You are having a sensor, you are working on your smartphones, and this sensor is actually connecting you through the internet to the internet. This is how the communicating world is expanding. Flexible configuration. You need not be having typical configuration set for connecting to the internet. You can connect it by anything, from the mobile cellular network to your Wi-Fi modems. You can connect to internet via anything, and any amount of devices can be connected. Then act as a technology integrator. When we talk about integrator, means It is connecting all the devices to work as one. It is providing a platform to integrate, to combine all the components. Then universal internet working. A person sitting in India can connect to somebody is sitting in America. How that is possible? That is possible through this internet working, which includes your WAN, LAN, MAN. That is local area network, wireless area network, or metropolitan area network. This all comes under IoT. IoT has become a platform for connecting all types of devices. Then vision of IoT. Vision of IoT can be both internet centric and thing centric. Internet centric means that the data that is being scattered in the cloud is the main focus. In thing centric architecture, the smart devices take as the center stage. So basically, when we are talking about the vision is basically why was IoT designed? What is the IoT base for it? So it is based on two things. Either it could be internet based or the thing based. Internet based means the data that is scattered across the internet, and thing centric means the devices that are connected to internet. So in both the terms, either the internet will act as the core, or in the other one, either the devices will be considered as the core, right? And then there are number of factors that are affecting the progression of IoT, right? You could say they are actually basically hampering it. They are improving it day by day. For example, powerful new mobile phones, from that typical Nokia phone to right now having phones of Apple's and iPhone, in which the technology has advanced to a so high range, the world is changing. Then applications are there which not only which are not typically dependent upon you need to have a Wi-Fi, you need to have a modem. They can even work very efficiently on your mobile data, and they require very less bandwidth, which is actually saving network. Then cloud-based apps. There are hundreds of millions of applications that are completely internet based, and all you have to do is that just download it and then run. Then new use cases such as mobile videos. Right now the best that is being used is Zoom lectures. What is Zoom? Zoom has provided us a platform to connect to all the students through mobile videos. This is how IoT has brought the world together, especially in the times of such a pandemic. Then basically the IoT focuses on making the system smart. When I talk about IoT, IoT means I'm making the world smart. Anything you use, the television or the mobile phones. Now there's a keyword that is being used with them. Smart phones, smart television. This is how IoT is making things smart. Only what is working behind it? The sensors and the intelligence. That means right now the advancement in is actually in the field of computer sciences, in the field of artificial intelligence, and IoT has brought that platform where we are using it. Then this is a roadmap, how technology has helped us or advanced from time to time, and how these things, this IoT has become a part of all of this. Then there's important thing, that is challenges faced by IoT. No system comes without any challenges or problems. Number one is scalability. Now, since everything is being connected to internet, there is an issue that how this large volume of data still needs to be handled. I have a mobile phone or I have a PC and I have so many applications that are working in my phone. So suppose there are billions of people across the globe that are using internet. So to bring all these people together or to connect it through internet is a very, very important issue. Then interoperability. It is not necessary, like suppose if I am right now having a Zoom lecture with the students, right? So it is not necessary what operating system or what resources I am using. It is sure that they are also using. Still, this factor lacks. And with the time and advancement in technology, maybe there would be some measures that this will be actually solved. Suppose in one area you have 5G that is working, and till now there are some areas where 2G is also not working properly. That is the problem of interoperability. Then there is lack of government support, no matter whatever advancement is being done in any country, especially but in the developed countries, though it is very good, but still in the developing country, there is not a proper support from the government, right? Then safety, security, and personal privacy. This is again an issue. Not entirely all the systems are secure. There will be security vulnerability. That is why every system nowadays is coming with some or the other different measure to impose security. Earlier, we used to have cellular phones which you just had to have, you need to add only pin to it or just some characters. Now we have sensors, we can close our phones using our thumbs, our fingers, or eyes. This is all what is advancement. And later on, some or the other way, more and more advancement is coming. And especially in the field of artificial intelligence, we have now different measures, like they not only pick up your eyes, they will be screening your complete face, your typical biometrics. This is the best way that how security can be measured. Still, I would say not all the systems are 100% secure. Then design based challenge. This is very important because if we are connected billions of PCs or billions of electronic devices across internet, then there will be design issues. That means like we need to have some certain boundaries to define that system in order that all those devices can access the internet at a proper speed and properly, and the resources could be utilized properly. So here it's an end to my lecture. Thank you.